Is Tony Khan buying New Japan Pro Wrestling? Plus, we have the latest on Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly's injury status ahead of Wrestle Dream. And a SmackDown star is challenging for an NXT title. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. So last night, Tony Khan led a media call ahead of AEW Wrestle Dream this Sunday. A few interesting pointers coming out of it. One of the key things that Tony Khan said that has certainly raised some eyebrows, Jack King, is that this show will be the end of a chapter in AEW and the beginning of a new one.
What does that mean? Something big is going to happen?
What does it mean? What does it mean?
Is it just kind of marketing speak to hype up the event? But it seems quite specific, doesn't it? It seems like something he doesn't normally say.
He knows something we don't know.
Yes.
One thing that's been talked about is where it could be connected to is monthly pay-per-views and how they are keen to start 12 pay-per-views every month going forward. He said he never expected to go monthly, but they had great multiple events and proves that there is room to add to the schedule. And he says that whilst it won't essentially start doing monthly pay-per-views from Wrestle Dream, it's certainly something that he's open to.
They've definitely started doing more and more, haven't they?
They have.
Not monthly, but it's getting in that direction.
It feels like a lot.
Yeah.
Gosh, it feels like a lot. Now, the other thing he talked about was some speculation around New Japan.
Right, so he was asked, I believe by Sean Ross Sapp, but there'd been rumours floating around, particularly on Reddit, I believe, about Tony Khan potentially buying New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was asked about this and said he was surprised to see the speculation and was keen to praise the working relationship AEW has with New Japan. I mean, they very recently held that Forbidden Door event, and also Wrestle Dream is dedicated to the memory of Antonio Inoki. So I imagine when these rumors started circulating, Tony was probably like, oh no, I don't want to annoy New Japan. He later said though that 2023 has been AEW's most adventurous year yet, and he wants to continue doing adventurous things, which he didn't deny that he was going to buy New Japan, but I'd be so surprised if he did.
A little later on, he was asked about clarifying comments, and he said that he wouldn't clarify or go into any more detail. So he is playing silly buggers with us. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if some sort of major seismic New Japan AEW change was brought through. Will it be as big as Tony Khan buying New Japan Pro Wrestling?
If that were to actually happen, I would really enjoy if he bought it but just left it to operate as it does, rather than, because at the minute there's always criticism about Ring of Honor that it's kind of diminished in stature a lot, and that since he bought it, Tony Khan hasn't done much to bring it back to what it once was. It feels like kind of a little brother to AEW now. And I would hate for New Japan to go the same way if Tony Khan were to somehow buy it. But I feel like New Japan is such a different promotion in a different part of the world and everything that even if he did buy it, you'd like to think he would kind of just let it get on with itself as it normally does.
Let it do it. So I think he'd have to put his, as anybody that buys a new company would, you'd want to put your fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
You'd want to adapt it and make changes that you believe they need to make.
Well, it would certainly be a good thing for the global appeal, because New Japan are often criticized for kind of becoming a bit more insular in recent years, whereas their big boom period in the 2010s was when they had Jericho and Omega, and it was easy for Western fans to access it. And they seem to have regressed a little bit in the time being since then. So that would be a good thing, I suppose.
Which one that we'll wait and see of. Maybe we'll have some sort of announcement on Sunday for that one. When we speak of Sunday, Adam Cole set to be defending the ROH tag titles.
Yes.
With MJF against the Righteous.
But we saw him recently jumping off the ramp, seeming to tweak his knee or his leg or his foot. He caused himself a bit of an injury. It seemed like he was visibly limping.
Seemed like a bit of an ankle roll.
Right, okay.
But even so, like anywhere in that vicinity, it was
gotta be careful.
Tony Khan said that Cole was a little ginger on the leg, and they will address it on Dynamite.
Adam Cole was also talking recently to Inside the Ropes about the status of his friend and former foe, Kyle O'Reilly, who's been missing for a long while. I believe he underwent neck surgery. He's been gone for a long time. He's someone that you really miss, especially on televised shows where he can just be relied upon to... You can throw Kyle O'Reilly in a match with anyone, and it'll be, at the very least, a good match, if not a great one. Cole said, all I can say is Kyle is continuing to push forward. This has been a very long and very, very tough process for him, but he's a warrior.
Again, there's nothing that Kyle loves more than pro wrestling, and he's doing everything he can to make sure he's getting healthy and getting back to a point where he can return to the ring.
He goes on to say, obviously there's still no timetable on when he's going to be able to come back, but Kyle is progressing. He's getting better every single week, and just like the rest of the world, I can't wait till Kyle O'Reilly gets back. I miss him so much. It's his pal. It's his mate.
It's his undisputed best friend.
It is.
Dun, dun, dun.
I miss Kyle. Oh, I miss Kyle O'Reilly as well.
I've just had a little. You remember the show That's So Raven, where like you go into her eye.
She'd see into the future. Yeah.
Just seen MJF getting battered by the Undisputed Era,
Well, they wouldn't be able to call. But yeah.
and Bobby Fish is there too. Where's the lie?
Throwing accurate kicks to real life.
9 pitches for Wrestle Dream. There could be one there. On the Cultaholic YouTube channel later on today, ahead of this Sunday show. Predictions tomorrow with Fraser Porter and myself, and live reactions to Wrestle Dream on Sunday as well. If you've got a hankering for some wrestling from Japan, I haven't even told you this. I don't know. You might have seen it in the chat actually during the week. So on Sunday, on the day of Wrestle Dream, my conversation with DDT Pro President Sanchiro Takagi.
Oh my word!
As you do. Just had a brilliant match on a bullet train.
Yes.
So we had a lovely chat about it.
That's fantastic.
So you'll hear that on Sunday, a special look at DDT Pro's fight on a bullet train between Takagi and Minoru Suzuki.
You're very like the opposite of Peter Hanrahan, who's lost. You've lost the news. You went and found that was in the news, and you went and found it.
I go find the news.
I can imagine you in like a jungle of news, hacking your way through with a machete.
I just go, I like that. I want to know more about that. How do I know more about that?
I'm looking forward to that. When does that go on?
Sunday. That'll be a podcast feed special.
That's my birthday as well.
That's why I did it on your birthday. Since you are a former DDT Pro Champion, it seems a two-time DDT Pro Champion. It seems fair to put that out on your birthday.
I'm not a former KOD openweight champion. I'm not the main belt.
He's very shy about it.
Iron Man heavy metal weight champion, along with a bus,
a ladder,
a bin, a ladder, all of Reddit. You yourself may be a former DDT Iron Man heavy metalweight champion.
You might very well be. Impact Wrestling announcing 2 very cool shows coming up in their future. We're going to talk on those in just a second. But before we get to that, we've got an update on a story that we reported yesterday regarding Serena Deb. Now, Deb has been absent from AEW for quite some time. And Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer, suggested that there was some heat possibly there that was keeping her away. What's the latest we've got on this, Jack?
The latest is a report from Fightful Select, who say there's kind of 2 sides to the story. There's like a pro AEW camp or sources that they've heard from, and then one's more sympathetic to Deb. The Deb side of things is that she apparently has been recovering from an injury, but AEW's side of the story differs quite considerably. Apparently, there's been disagreements between Serena Deb and AEW management. According to this report, she would complain about her match times being cut, and then apparently AEW would show her proof of the original listings of the match times and said, look, your match is as long as it's always meant to have been, like we didn't cut the time. And apparently it's just led to a falling out. That's all from the Fightful Select report. Now, if that's true, it's kind of a hot button topic at the minute, isn't it? The amount of women's wrestling that AEW includes. I believe at the time of recording, there's only 1 women's match set for Wrestle Dream as well, perhaps. Certainly 1 or 2, not many. That was a big talking point at Wembley as well. So it'll be very interesting to see if any more comes out about this. Deb's been gone for a long time. I had a look. Her last match was last October. At Dark Elevation, which doesn't even exist anymore. So,
Gosh, it's been that long since you've been away. One that we will keep an eye on here at Cultaholic. 2 international wrestling events for Impact. One taking place in Canada. The return of Impact Provincial Wrestling Federation. This is their throwback show.
It's fantastic.
I love these so much. You're going to get to be there live at Mississauga, Ontario, Canada for your favourite IPWF legend. Colt McCoy, not Eddie Edwards. Tim Burr, the famous lumberjack, not Josh Alexander. DJ Too Large. It's not Moose, definitely. Rough Rider, Georgia Cobb. It's definitely not Jordan Grace. And Rip Razor. definitely not Ace Austin, and Rapid Delivery Pete.
Rapid Delivery Pete sounds like something you've made up. It sounds like one of yours.
Do you know what? I'm sad I didn't make it
Rapid Delivery Pete. That's Rich. Well, it's not Rich Swann. It's not Rich Swann at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. As well as that, the month before that, no, in October, as well as Impact taking the UK Invasion Tour, they're also bringing back Gut Check in the UK.
Right.
So this is their search for new wrestling talent. When they go to Coventry for those 2 days, they're going to be holding the Wednesday before in Glasgow, and then on Sunday in Coventry, 2 rounds of Gut Check. So if you're a wannabe wrestler or a professional wrestler in the UK and fancy getting yourself a developmental deal and a bursary with Impact in Canada, get yourself along to the Gut Check in Glasgow or the Gut Check in Cov.
Impact had a big history a big run throughout its history of incorporating British talent. I mean, we've seen the likes of, I can't remember if he went through Gut Check, did he? Rockstar Spud?
Yeah, of course he did, yeah.
And then he went on to just really maximise his potential in Impact Wrestling. Your fellow West Midlandser as well.
He is indeed. He's
Rockstar
a Ruby
Spud.
boy. Love boy, Rockstar Spud. There's and obviously Grado came through that Gut Check series as well, if memory serves, or whatever was before it as well. So great opportunity there if you're a wrestler or want to, or a sports person in the UK. There's an opportunity there. Get amongst it. NXT No Mercy is this Saturday. Last night on NXT, we had ourselves a brand new North American title top contender in the absence of Mustafa Ali.
Yes, this all comes in the aftermath of Mustafa Ali's release from WWE. They needed to find a new person. Maybe I'd suggest they shouldn't have got rid of the person who was the number 1 contender.
That's a wild idea.
But now it's a new opportunity for Trick Williams, who is still in the early stages of his solo run, having amicably split from Carmelo Hayes. They still interact backstage and stuff, but they're not, as closely knit as they once were. He beat Joe Gacy with ease and then said, right, I've won that so easily. I should be in the number 1 contenders match for the North American title. It was then a fatal 4-way match. Trick Williams, Axiom, Dragon Lee and Tyler Bate, and Trick Williams won it. So 2 wins in one night. Get yourself a title shot, and we'll see you at No Mercy.
See you at No Mercy. Also confirmed last night, SmackDown's Butch will be at No Mercy on Saturday, and he will be challenging Noam Dar for the NXT Heritage Cup. I don't see Butch winning the cup.
No,
I don't know. I don't see it fitting the aesthetic of the Brawling Brutes on a Friday night.
Maybe not. I don't know, but there's been a lot of main roster. I mean, Becky Lynch is currently the women's champion in NXT, so it could be another excuse to kind of boost the profile of NXT with a main roster start. There's also going to be a tag team title match defended in the Tony D and Stacks are the champions. They're going to defend their belts in a 4-way match at No Mercy. They've agreed to a match with Bronco Nima and Lucien Price, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, and the Creed brothers as well. It's anyone's to win, Tom. It's anyone's game.
They're getting all around the table and having a big old fight. We also have the reveal of the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament brackets. So we'll see the competitors in the tournament on Saturday as well. Baron Corbin versus Bron Breakker, custody of Von Wagner's soul, will be taking place. We have Hayes and Dragunov for the NXT title, and then the NXT Women's title, Extreme Rules, Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton.
Yes, absolutely. I think this might be the time that Tiffany wins the belt back. Extreme Rules, there's room for interference or anything that could mean that Becky can lose without looking too weak in the process. And I think that it would really benefit Tiffany Stratton if she didn't lose twice in a row to Becky Lynch. She's very promising, and I don't want her to get comprehensively defeated.
What if Jade Cargill comes out and flipping slams her?
And that would be a way to get her straight onto the main roster, Jade Cargill. Yeah, you might be onto something.
Putting that out there. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.